All right, so moving on to our next story. We are talking about some changes in the Toonami block. We like to do this a lot. If you guys don't know, maybe some newer listeners, Tristan and I grew up on Toonami. It bathed us, it changed us. We grew up on Toonami. Now, we try to keep up with it every now and again. I mean, I have it on DVR. Sadly, you can't keep up with it as much, but you try when you can. And looking at some interesting changes to the lineup, thankfully it doesn't seem like Toonami is losing anything in the lineup. It's actually just replacing a few things. So we don't know what is being replaced by this new anime, but we do know that starting July 6th in the U.S., we're getting Mobile Suit Gundam, The Origin. So I'm not super familiar with the Gundams. Tristan isn't super familiar with the Gundams, but Tristan, don't you worry, I've done some research. This is actually supposed to be a prequel to the original Gundam series. But it doesn't, even though, just like many prequels, it probably foreshadows some stuff, so you should probably watch the original first. Still, though, it doesn't seem like it necessarily gives anything away, again, it being a prequel. So it doesn't do any crazy flashes to the future or anything like that. So you could arguably watch this without watching the original. I just don't suggest it just as someone who, in general, like to watch, prequels second. But still, in theory, you could. Also, I hope this does well. I believe Iron-Blooded Orphans did well on the Toonami block, but I hope this does well because Gundam has had a really strange history with Toonami. So, it hasn't done as well.
It's been on and off a lot. They've gone through a few series on it, haven't they?
Here's the thing, right? So, Gundam Wing did very well, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is that Toonami went from Gundam Wing, which Gundam Wing was like, hey, we're all these shonen, we're all these kids, we're having drama, and it could have connected with the audience at the time, both young and old. I didn't really see Gundam Wing as a kid. I saw G Gundam, which I'll get to a little bit later. But with Gundam Wing, people really enjoyed it, and then they tried to sell people on at the time, so remember, this is in the 90s, a 20-year-old anime, the original Gundam, on the perils and the strife and the sadness that comes from war.
Right.
So you went from not as, I would argue, as shonen as G Gundam, but you went from I can't believe that kid at school thinks he could be better with a Gundam than I could, to Day 5. The famine was too much for us to handle. If only a Gundam could come and kill me. This war is hell. And then they went to Shining Finger, do 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 do. It just, again, this is the U.S. airing, so it was really, it's a bit of a tonal shift. So yeah, the original Gundam did not do as well when it aired in the U.S. Again, just aired. I don't want to talk about DVD sales. I don't know how those were, and I'm not saying that means that the original Gundam is bad. It's just that it's very hard. It's a shift. And it's hard to go that far into the well, I think, with daytime Toonami. So, yeah, the ratings did not do well. Because there's a difference between, let's go back maybe 5, 10, maybe even 15 years. But you go back into 70s anime, it's also just a different style as well. It was because I think as a kid, I'm thinking about what I enjoyed when I watched Toonami. And even something like Dragon Ball Z, which had ended years prior, still watching it in 99, and it only ending 4 years earlier, it's not that bad. Yes, it started 9 years earlier, technically, but still, it's not that bad, of a shift. But going with the fact that I'm pretty sure when the original Gundam aired in 2001, it had finished airing in the 70s.
Right.
Again, just a huge gap. So, So either way, though, what matters is that people can see this. However, again, I do wonder how it's going to do, not because it's bad, but because of the original Gundam not having that much of a stronghold in the U.S. However, it doesn't mean that people couldn't have already seen it online, of course, or on DVD or something like that. So I do wonder if maybe it would actually be very interesting if the ratings for this actually do better than the original Gundam did somehow.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
I do remember catching a little bit of Gundam back in the day, but I never really got into it heavily, but I've always wanted to go back. It's something that's always been on, like, my radar and on my list of, like, I need to watch this. But it's a big undertaking.
Well, no, that's why I always suggest that you watch G Gundam, because it's the first one that I watched as a kid. It's very shonen action heavy, which is something that I think you and I would enjoy. And while I'm sure now they found some way to tie it in with the greater universe, it was meant to be its own thing.
Right.
Because it wasn't meant to, like, G Gundam does not tie in, at least the show itself did not tie in to anything that was released beforehand. So you don't have to watch, like, Mobile Suit Gundam. You don't have to watch, like, Char's Counterattack, which some would be like, oh, you know what that is, Matt? I fucking know the name. I know that Char was voiced by Brian Drummond. That's it.
Right.
Like, you don't have to watch Gundam Wing. You don't have to watch Seed. You don't have to watch any of that stuff. All you have to do is just sit down, watch G Gundam, and if you like it, great. If you don't like it, move on to the other stuff. The problem is that also Gundam, not problem, but, like, it might be harder for some people to watch it. Sometimes Gundam gets very political.
Right.
Where I feel like Code Geass was, like, trying to be Babby's first Gundam in some ways, which is something you and I loved.
Right.
Like, we love, like there were political talks, especially in R2, but still, and for some people, they didn't like that in R2. So then it's like, well, then will you like Gundam? I don't know, right? I'm not the best judge of that, but I've been told, like, yeah, Gundam gets very political and battle strategy-esque, but also you love Star Wars games, especially ones that are tactical, like role-playing games, and you also love D&D. So maybe you would love Gundam. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do know that because of your love of DBZ, I think you can gravitate towards G Gundam as, like, your first.
Right.
And there was still some stuff about it that was still, like, war as hell, even when watching it on Toonami. But, like, you could cover it up with Shining Finger, and you're like, yay, he's fighting, But, like, yeah. But it's kind of, it is, yes, in some respects. However, it's funny, that one also didn't do too well, but it's not that it didn't do too well in the U.S., it didn't do too well in Japan, because I think everyone was really into the connectivity of Gundam, the fact that Gundam was meant to be XYZ, and then this comes along, and there are some people that are like, I think I would argue, people are like, this is different, this is like for babies or yada yada, and I'm just like, but I like when the man's searching for his brother and he punches the Russian Gundam.
Right.
Which is so fucking funny out of context. But anyway, so I don't know if they finished airing it in the U.S. I don't know if they took it off the air. I just know that I loved seeing it when it was on the air on Toonami back in the day. And, yeah, this one, of course, by the way, even though it's a prequel, it's newer. Like, this isn't one from the 70s or the 80s. This is actually one that came out. So it originally officially debuted in Japanese theaters from 2015 to 2018 as OVAs, or, OVAs is the right term, even though technically they were in theaters, so it's like it's not technically an OVA, but shush. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that down in the comment section. Don't do that. But no, because technically OVA is comparable to, only on VHS or like straight to video.
Right, yeah.
Technically that's what it's supposed to be. So like if something is an OVA, but it was released in theaters, does a tree make a sound? I don't fucking know. But that's kind of what it is. Like, that Digital Devil Story OVA you and I talked about?
Yeah.
Like you and I talked about like off podcasts and stuff. So apparently that thing got a theatrical release in Japan. So is it an OVA? Fuck. So anyway,
it's in that odd industry.
It was a limited release. So is it an OVA? I can't fucking tell you. Anyway, the OVAs then got cut up into a 13-episode television series.
Right.
Which was then aired, it says it began airing in Japan on April 29th, so this is actually extremely recent at least the cut up of the 13 episodes, as Kido Senshi Gundam, The Origin Zenya, Akai Suise, which is Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin, Eve of the Red Comet, which to someone out there, they're like, whoa. To me, I'm like, that is a long name. And
I like long names.
I gotta watch this show.
Me just jumping in. I love long names.
What I do feel bad about, though, is I have this odd feeling that they're not going to have any of the original cast back, despite the fact that they were all so good. Because Brian Drummond was Char, and I'm pretty sure the main character was voiced over by Brad Swale, who's the voice of Light Yagami and even Adult Gohan in the Blue Water dub. So also as the Ocean dub. So I feel it would suck to me if because I don't know if you know this, Tristan, it's gotten so expensive to record in Canada due to their unions and stuff like that, that's why there have been less dubs from Canada. So I think the newest one that I can think of off the top of my head that you and I have seen that isn't like Death Note, I think maybe Black Lagoon beats it out.
Right.
Yes, actually, the Black Lagoon, because not just the Black Lagoon, the OVA they did, Roberta, Blood Trail,
yeah, Roberta,
that was the newest one, I think in 2012.
Right.
And other than that, I'm pretty sure we have, because I don't think any Gundam have went to Canada, and even the newest dub of Card Captors, I'm pretty sure that was LA based.
Right.
Because Card Captor Sakura, the original dub was over in old Canada.
Right.
Yeah. So also some other changes as well. It seems as if Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 is currently airing, which is super new. So you and I actually have to review Season 3 Part 1 on for those guys on the radio at a Saturday.
Right.
And because I know you were waiting to see it eventually, and it's now that Part 2 is coming out on Crunchyroll, and now of course Toonami, probably should see Part 1.
Right. Probably.
And so that already started airing May 25th, and then we mentioned this last episode, I believe. Yeah, it was last episode. Lupin the Third Part 5 is still coming June 15th. So
right.
I don't know what's replacing what, but just quickly, just going on my TV guide and looking it up, I'm wondering if, because there's always one show that you and I are like, is that getting replaced by? And I'm assuming it's probably going to be JoJo. Because JoJo Part 4 is ending soon.
Yeah.
Because remember,
right.
this is July 6th. Oh God, 4th of July weekend going to be lit.
Yeah, right.
What is the most American thing? Just Gundams? Actually, that would be they got to work on that video package. That'd actually be nice. Because they used to do some Gundam mecha marathons for the holidays back in the day.
Yeah.
Get Peter Cullen back. But God, that would be amazing. Anyway, so it looks like we have My Hero Academia, which are on Season 3. So, I mean, maybe that wraps up because they haven't aired. What was that?
Yeah. Because Season 4, I think, is coming soon, but I don't know how close they are with the dub.
No. Season 4 is coming, but it does not exist yet. So they're on Season 3 right now. So
exactly.
That's going to end soon. I don't know if Gundam The Origin would take that 10:30 slot, but it is going to end soon.
Right.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super has some time, although they are at 1:13. So, they have time, but that's about, let me see, how many more? 4, 8, 12. Because remember, it stopped at 1:31.
Yeah.
So they have 4 months on that. So I don't know what the fuck's happening there. Attack on Titan is new, so that's not ending anytime soon. Promise Neverland is going to get replaced soon. They're on episode 8.
Right, yeah.
I don't know about Sword Art Online. They're at 18. They're also going to get replaced soon. Diamond is Unbreakable is on 38. How many episodes of Diamond is Unbreakable are there? 52?
They're getting really close. Yeah. 40, 50, something like that.
Okay. I'll look that up. I'm just curious because, we obviously know that, whatever gets replaced next, we know that we're going to have, June 15th is going to be Lupin the Third Part 5. So something's getting replaced in 2 weeks. And I'm going to assume it's going to be something. It's going to be, no, because I'm thinking right now, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm like, Promised Neverland had 12 episodes. I'm like, what's getting replaced in 2 weeks?
It might be JoJo, because,
JoJo had,
you said they were,
how many?
Oh, yeah, 30. They've got one more. They're on the finale.
Oh, okay. So cool. So that means that, obviously they're getting replaced by Lupin the Third. And then July 6th, again, I'm assuming maybe that's Promised Neverland getting replaced by Gundam The Origin. And then, we'll have to see what's after Attack on Titan. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking maybe after My Hero Academia heads off into the sunset for a bit, might get One Punch Man Season 2.
Possibly, yeah.
Because that's currently airing. So maybe by that point it would be more than halfway through the season, maybe considered long enough to replace it at a very early time slot. So, that'll be interesting as well. So either way, as we're wrapping this one up, I want to hear, unless you have anything else to say, Tristan, about Gundam The Origin. Are you gonna check it out?
I'd like to try to, yeah.
All right. So anything else you want to say about this or no?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. So I want to hear what you guys think about not just Gundam The Origin, specifically about the difference between the OVAs and the 13-episode series. I want to hear what you guys have to say about the original Gundam, your thoughts on it, if you enjoyed it back in the day, if you enjoyed it even before it came to Toonami, and any kind of fond memories you have or that you just have now. Maybe you've gotten into it recently. And if you want to recommend any Gundam to us, again, please do. We would love to hear what you guys have to say because I want to know what good Gundam I'd like after G Gundam and what Gundam you'd recommend to Tristan. So tell us anything about all that stuff down in the comment section down below. And before we go, one quick thing. Apparently Vertical is licensed. It's Gundam The Origin. Interesting. In the U.S., Viz Media originally had it. Interesting. And Sunrise originally owned the OVAs, but who owns them now? Oh, still Sunrise. Okay. No, because I want to see if we could actually get this on DVD yet, or if it's so new that it's not even out. I was just slightly curious before we go. But now we're going to go.